The one thing to look out for false indicators of bad runout are little oil dents like this. This running over that will give you quite a bit of a difference. Let's see what happens. Not too bad, but that we run that dent over, we're going to find ourselves. There it is. See it? So you can get a false indicator from oil dents. Just notice when you're looking at your case of any defects. An oil dent like this is not a problem. This will iron out next time you fire it. Okay, I just sized this piece of brass, and what you want to do before you run it through your dial indicator is to make sure you wipe it off with a clean, dry bench cloth. And the reason is this little ball bearing under here, under these dial indicators, are dirt magnets, especially when they collect any kind of lubricant. This is a piece of brass I picked up at the range, and I just ran it through my RCBS competition full-length sizing die. And I'm going to see what it says. It's not bad. If you're running a good die here through your press and you're still getting some problems with runout, part of the problem could be this right here. Sometimes it just takes a wrench like this just to snug it down. Now I'll take out any play that might be in your connection between the die, the press, and the shell holder. A lot of times that right there will take care of any runout, excessive runout that you might have. If the case naturally has runout because it's thicker on one side or the other, this will at least help reduce it for you. Now let's say this case had some bad runout. All you want to do is put a little mark down here by the base so you can see it in your shell holder. Run it up. Now take that little mark that we made and turn the case a quarter turn in your shell holder here, and whatever play that was in the runout will probably be ironed out at least halfway. Then you're good to go. Okay, I've already trimmed my brass and I've uniformed the primer pockets. Now what we need to do in order to finish our sorting process is to weigh each case. And what this does is when you weigh one case next to the other, what you're going to find is the heavier cases are going to have thicker case walls than the thinner ones. Or the lighter ones rather. And I'm measuring or weighing Winchester brass. Winchester is usually a little bit lighter than Federal, and they're depending on when it was made. It will weigh anywhere between 155 and 168 grains. The Federal brass will weigh anywhere between 168 and 175. Lake City military brass can weigh as much as 190 grains. As long as you are consistent, you'll be okay. Now you notice the needle is not exactly on zero, and you only want it within about 1/10 of a grain of each other. That's the way I like it. Some people say within 2 or 3 grains, but I like going one step further. And what you will do is the ones that weigh way too much, like for me this one will be sorted as heavy. you just set them off to the side, or you can just mark the weight on them. If you have an electronic scale, it makes it a little easier. I don't like electronic equipment. And what you will see is well, that guy weighs way too much. What you will see is patterns. And once you get your pattern down, whether all your cases are throwing heavier than the first one you measured, you'll sort them by weight: heavy, medium, and light. And then you bag them separately. That way you can keep all your match brass in this category. And what this does is it makes your chamber pressure in pretty much as close as you can scientifically get, I would say, which will make your standard deviation, which is your shot-to-shot velocity variation, as minimal as possible. You really don't see it so much at 100 meters, but when you're shooting at 3, it'll start showing up. When you start extending it to 5, 6, 7, 800 meters, that's when, if you have like a 50 to 60 feet a second deviation, you start seeing a big spread in your groups.